gonna get started. Wanted to have Jim Sapp, a legend in the industry of networking, do this call, and he's been in the industry for about 30 years now. Um, and he's got some really good perspective on Revo RideShare and big thinking on why Revo RideShare is actually bigger than just like rideshare in general. And um, yeah, he's got some good perspective.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah, actually, Revo RideShare is more. It's actually it's a much bigger perspective than the big boys out there. You know who they are. One starts with a U, one starts with an L, and basically the difference between them is Revo is out to disrupt the whole industry. Some of you probably remember, many of you, I'm sure, remember Blockbuster. Try to find a Blockbuster store now. What happened? Netflix came along and basically put them out of business. It disrupted that whole industry. And there's three ways that you can disrupt industries. One is price, one is convenience, one is technology. Okay, and any one of those could theoretically disrupt that industry. However, in the case of Revel Rideshare, we're going to disrupt them all in three different areas. One, the price. Revo is their ultimate goal is to get more money to the driver, less money to the customer. And even bigger is the fact that you can earn reward tokens for the ride. Now, to put that in perspective, if you go back, gee whiz, 14 or so years ago, Bitcoin was just limping along out of the gate. Virtually nobody had heard about it. Some people had heard about it. The first real transaction took place, I believe, around Jacksonville, Florida. Somebody bought a couple pizzas with Bitcoin. Okay. The amount of Bitcoin they spent on that pizza transaction in today's value of Bitcoin is $860 million. They spent almost $1 billion on getting two pizzas. And so you're getting rewards, digital rewards, similar to that who knows what they're going to be someday. I mean, you don't know. Just let your imagination run wild. So what we're doing here is with this is Revos is creating excitement. Think about this. Where can you create your own future? You can't do it with Uber. You can't do it with Lyft. You can keep on doing what you're doing now, and 2 years from now, you'll be in the same spot, likely unhappy, just over broke. Like many of us, I've been in that same situation, which ultimately leads to, an unhealthy life or not the optimal healthy life. So who wants the same old, mostly unhappy and just over broke? I don't. Most people don't, but they don't know a way out of it. And who often worries about money or paying bills? Who wants to do that? I know I've done that in the past. Or who wants to be walking on sunshine? Maybe some of you remember that song by I think it was Katrina and the Waves. I'm walking on sunshine. It's real upbeat, where you're excited to greet each day with a spring in your step, where people say, "I want what he's taking." Well, that's what we want to get to. Well, listen up. Before I get into the great features of the Revo Rideshare, I urge you to not make the same mistake I made. I made a big mistake 30 years ago. I got into internet marketing. Okay. And relatively speaking, I did pretty daggone well. I mean, it got me a house on a golf course, virtually $1 million house on a golf course, you know. But here's where it hurt me. If I had just taken a step back, if I had just taken a step back at the time and looked at things from a 40,000 foot view, what the internet was back then, we're talking, 1995, then instead of my six-figure income, which I was making in 97, I ultimately, I believe, could have got to a seven-figure income. What did that cost me? Because I didn't see a bigger picture of what I could have done with the internet. And I urge you not to get so focused on one thing, that you miss the bigger picture. If all you're uh, doing every day is just, you know, driving and not looking at, because with this, there's something much bigger. You don't have that. You don't have that with those other rideshare companies, but you do have it with this. So with Revo, you're part of a great and growing global community around the world, where you can, unlike those other companies, you can benefit as this company grows. If they grow and they grow and grow, they're not. It almost look like it. I hate to use the word profit sharing, but it's kind of like that. They're not going to do that with you. They make more money. They're not going to. Oh, let's give, you know,
It's like a
Tommy here,
micro. It's
Mary
like a
here.
micro transaction.
Yeah,
You
they're
know.
not going to give you a bonus, Christmas
Yeah.
bonus, most likely. Um, I was on a call last week, or last night, I think it was actually, or night before last, where one individual shared that people becoming involved now could be literally run over by wealth. Think about that. Where they just stand in the way of it. They're just in the way where the crumbs could be very valuable, you know. Or you could quite possibly transform yourself. I mean, you know, you just need to get in the way. We're on the forefront of some major advancements. We are cheaper, we are better, and you can own your own data. You can own your own data. You might not think about that in terms of, but ultimately, if you can sell your own data, you can make money off of it. You can make money off of it. You know, right now, these different platforms are selling your data. You know, these social platforms, Facebook, uh, you know, virtually all of them they just take your data and sell it. They're making billions and you're getting nothing, you know. And you can get these rewards. You get these rewards when you do this. So I want to share something with you now, real quickly. Put this on the screen here. Different folder here. Oh, by the way, I'm using one of the community platforms here within this community because it's more than with the other ones. With this, there's a community of other projects. And guess what? Those other projects can ultimately bring money into you. I mean, you don't even think about it. If all you're doing is driving for another ride share company, that's it. You know, you do a ride, that's it. You get money on that. You ride, that's it. But because of the other community projects within this larger community, ultimately, you know, and one of them has to do with teleconference. What we're doing right now, what I'm doing right now, I'm on a teleconference, and this thing is positioned to become huge. The number one, just heard this last night. The number one company that promoted, many of you are maybe familiar with the teleconference company. It starts with a Z, ZOOM, Zoom. Well, anyway, the main company that was responsible for doing a lot of the bringing in agents and selling that platform. Guess what? Guess what they're selling now? They're selling the platform we're on right now, up to 20,000 agents. What's that going to do to this community? And what's that going to do as people come into that community and they also see Revo RideShare? And there's also a food, in the food part of the community. Oh, guess who they're aligned with? They're aligned with the Maha people. The guy that ran Robert F. Kennedy's presidential campaign, he was at one of our conferences recently, and they're talking about how they can track, you know, to make food healthier and so forth. Just getting a little bit off track there. But if I look at this one slide here, this is part of the compensation plan here. There's no hidden fees or algorithms that can change your payout. Drivers are going to keep 70% of every fare. And if the fare is over eight, guess they're not going to do this. One guy was talking to me recently. I've heard him a number of times say this. He took a ride, I think it was in Utah. And his ride was like, maybe you can help me here, Steve. What was his ride? $250?
Yeah, it was like 290, and I think the driver got like $90.
$97
I
something.
heard that drivers are making about 35% of the
Okay.
total fare anymore.
So yeah, and it was like the company got, I think it was around 250, and the driver made, not even, would they make $90 or something like that. So, but they would never do this. The fare's even bigger. So in that particular case, that driver would have made what? I think it was 246 bucks times point 0.8. Guess what? They would have made twice as much money. They would have made $196.80 versus I think $97. $100 more. Same ride. Same ride. Let's go on here. Okay, here we go. This is taking a second to load here.
I see it okay.
You see it okay? I don't see them. You see it okay?
Yeah.
Let me do something here. Let me go back to it here. I don't know. I'm frozen. Talk about this one, Steve.
Yeah, like while you're kind of looking at that. So our referral program, anyone can refer that's in Revo. You got someone that just wants to build a business. They'll probably be as a passenger. You might use it one day. So any builder can refer, passengers can refer, drivers can refer, just refer. But whoever you refer, you're getting 3% of the fare from the driver you refer or the client. You find a passenger that takes from work to home every day and back or whatever, you're getting paid every time they do it, every time they do it, every time they do it. You get a driver that does rides. They do 10 rides a day. You're making 3% off of each ride every time that driver does it for life.
Wow,
So
if this goes international, that could get pretty lucrative.
yeah, international then too. Yep.
It could get lucrative. Let's go to the next slide here. Okay, here's an example of what we could see here in that regard. And it's a little bit fuzzy here, but hopefully you can see it okay. But if you just refer 20 drivers, for example, let's say each driver does 10 rides a day for 20 days, that's 200 rides per month. Okay. And, so that's 4,000 rides. If the fare was, let's say, in this particular example, $20 per ride on average, that's $80,000. Okay. So now this is not the driver money. Keep in mind, this is not the driver money. This is just because you referred these people. Well, guess what? Your earnings would be $2,400 a month just for sitting at home laying in bed or watching a movie or laying on the beach or whatever. Not driving. Okay. But let's say you did 50 drivers. Okay. Now that's the same amount of rides and so forth per month. Now you're up to 10,000 rides per month. Total fare 200,000. Guess what? Now you're making $6,000 a month. What's that? $72,000 a year. Not too bad for laying on the beach, laying in
A
bed,
big thing too, not beating up your car.
not
I
beating
mean,
up the car,
risking accidents too. I
an
mean, shoot.
accident. Guess what? Guess what? If you prefer to 100 drivers, let's go to 100 drivers. Now you're same amount of rides per month and so forth. But now you're up to 20,000 rides total. Now your total fares are 400,000. Now you're making $12K a month. Wow, what's that? $144,000 a year just for laying on the beach or laying in bed or watching TV or who knows what with your spouse, going out to eat, whatever. $12,000. I mean, look at that. I mean,
Yeah, you're not getting that with Uber or Lyft.
no, they're not giving you a dime. Ultimately, I mean, you referred enough. Now, this one here at the bottom, 5,000 drivers. Now, that seems a little bit excessive and whatever, but let's say you referred some people And guess what? Some of these drivers, they're international. I'm sure you may know. I've met a number of drivers that were from Africa or who knows. I haven't taken that many rides, but that were, from some foreign country. How big is the country of India, for example? What if some of these people started referring people back in India or the Philippines or some of these countries around the world as this thing grows? Because right now, this is a little bitty baby compared to the other guys. We're a little bit of a baby. But when it grows and all of a sudden, you've got people that send it over to India and send it to Europe and send it to who knows where around the world, the Philippines and so forth. And all of a sudden, it's like, holy cow, Bertha, it's out of control. I've been in businesses before where you start looking at your commissions. It's out of damn control. It's out of control. Oh my God. What the heck? And you can't stop it if you wanted to because it's beyond your reach at that point. Because you refer to this person, this person, this person, and now all of a sudden it's beyond your reach. If you wanted to stop it, you couldn't. Of course, who'd want to stop it? Who'd want to stop the flow of money coming in? So anyway, this is an example of what could happen. Obviously, it's not anything guaranteed. Nobody can guarantee anything in these days, but when it's this early and this much of an infancy, and the fact that we're part of a community of other projects, and those other projects can also boost this, and the fact that you can also, and I haven't gotten into this, but you could also make money from those other projects. Don't even really want to go there right now, but just let you know that there's other projects that you can make money off of too. So this is not a one-trick pony. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And but for now, we're just here to talk about the Revo RideShare. But just be aware, there's a community out there which can not only feed stuff into this, because there's other community projects as they have conventions and they go places and so forth. They can send riders your way as they do meetings and whatever and wherever. And so anyway, but wow, you got anything else to say, Steve? Before
just the next slide, and we're gonna keep this call for about 5 more minutes, I'd say. But maybe look at what the back office looks like, how people can find their referral link, and kind of guide.
Yeah, let me share that screen with you.
The referring part, I think, is the big thing, because you're going to want to have 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people on your team, because, okay, we had one person that just took a trip to Miami last week. She took 3 or 4 rides, but, you're going to need a lot of people that are going to be doing rides all the time. I think that's yeah. There you go. Okay. Go into network.
Well, let me go to the marketing tools real quick.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, marketing tools, you can just see some of the stuff available here now. Here's like a business card, different business cards. Just different things, some little short videos that you can watch. They'll train.
Yeah, you can post. I think they're very Facebook oriented then too.
Yeah, you can put them
Spanish.
On, share with people. Here's a Spanish one. But if you go to network, you can see.
So you copy your link. You copy your
link up here.
You paste it, put it, paste it, text it. Don't try not to post your link on Facebook walls and this and that. Keep everything through direct messages.
Yeah, you want to track them, and then when they contact you, you want to send something back to them that basically direct message me, and then you communicate your link back to them there. Okay, so here's some things, some interesting stuff under the social stuff is under Telegram. Okay, here's the Revo Now site. Here's remember we talked about the tokens. That's the one thing about this. There's crypto tokens associated with this that you can also earn as far as that. And this would show you what those, those effectively are worth. Remember very early on in the call, I talked about how somebody bought two pizzas with Bitcoin and what they effectively paid for that Bitcoin in today's value of Bitcoin is $860 billion. Excuse me, not billion,
Million.
$1 million. $860 million they paid for that pizza. You could have bought almost all of, maybe not all of Pizza Hut, but
So a little bit about how the rewards are going to make distribution hasn't happened, but people are going to get like drivers are going to keep getting paid regularly with US dollars, just regular, but there's also going to be a crypto bonus in Revo the token, where I'm not sure how much the driver will get in tokens, but as the network gets more and more popular, network effect, the token price theoretically should go up, where someone could, I'm not saying they would, or will, maybe make $500 to do a drive, where it could be like that Bitcoin pizza moment where no one thought Bitcoin would become what it became, but having that extra bonus, like rewards, like, okay, you go to the Olive Garden or Panera Bread, okay, you're going to get enough stamps or whatever where you can get a bagel at Panera, but I don't know any reward program besides something like this where those reward points can add up and you can get a possible Mercedes. So
yeah.
I think the passengers are going to be able to get rewarded in a token too, for tipping, for rating, for even maybe taking a ride.
Yeah, and you can also buy software nodes. We won't get into that now, but those things give you tokens every day, every day, every day, every day.
Yeah, pretty slick.
It's pretty slick.
And that's like real quick with decentralization and why we're on the blockchain. Blockchain kind of cuts it, no, kind of about it. It cuts the fat. It's more peer to peer and it's more lean, and there's not as much middlemen, which gives more money to the driver, where the riders pay cheaper prices, the drivers get paid more. And that's why we're going to be able to really, really compete with the big guys, because Uber and Lyft, first of all, they have shareholders that they got to answer to. So us, we're able to be real, real nimble through the
Yeah, I
block.
mean, I would encourage you. I did this. I would encourage you, if you haven't done it, go to Uber's website. It looks like It looks like the government, a big bloated bureaucracy
Yeah.
with all
Yeah. I
these
forget how
different
much they have.
departments that like, what the hell value does this serve?
Yeah.
That's
There's
that's why
a lot of fat.
yeah, that's why the $240 fare instead of what we figure $197 with Revo, only 97 because they're feeding all that fat,
Mm-hmm.
all that, you know, I would call crap. Anyway,
Pardon your French. But yeah, we got some slick
here's
merchandise
merchandise
too.
here. You can get merchandise. Uh,
There's trainings. Jim and I are just regular agents too, just like anyone who
here's
signs
some of
up
the
to. We're
merchandise.
not
Can you see
corporate.
this here, Steve?
What's that?
Can you see this merchandise?
Yep.
Yeah, you can buy tea. Actually, they're pretty. Like one thing I find pretty amazing is this is like regular prices you might see just going to Walmart for a regular T-shirt with
Yeah.
$14.
That good Under Armour kind of style.
Yeah, here's a hoodie. This is more expensive, $39.50. But you have hats down here. They got women's stuff. This is a sports bra, I guess. And you got hats down here somewhere here. There we go, hats. You can get, I guess, a winter hat, summer hat, baseball caps. The one I got on just happens to be one of these here right now. I guess it's $19. I got it for free because I was at one of the original places where they introduced this.
Let me share too, the people that have been having the most success. Kansas City is where we've been having the most success, where the driver and his wife, they treat it like a transportation business rather than just something like Uber or Lyft. A lot of people are going to turn it on. You get a driver. Where are the rides? Where are the rides? Where are the rides? That's where we come in. The guy, his name's Mark, very very sharp individual, but he markets it by getting new passengers in every ride that he has. One of the big features that we have too is that you can have a favorite driver where the person's going to schedule a ride. Let's say Mark's taking Alice on a ride, and hey, Alice, there's a new ride share in town. It's better prices. And then Mark would get Alice a card, and then Alice would download the app, and then she would favorite Mark, and then Mark gets a ride. So he gets more money. Mark's going to be getting 3% each transaction. So since November, doing that technique, Mark has gotten about 900 rides with duplicating, teaching other drivers on how to do it. So that's the big picture. When we're at this early stage now, we don't advertise. All that, we want all that money to go to the people that are building it, rather than, I think we might advertise in the future, but as of now we aren't. And the old saying, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. So drivers coming in, just where are the rides, where are the rides, where are the rides, depending on where you're at, it's gonna be up to us to get those rides.
And there's a lot of training in here. If you notice right now, I'm on this training section. Each of these is video training, and there's a bunch of them. You can go through here and watch these.
Oh nice, they got a lot of them.
A lot of good trainings here. You know, uh, there's settings, but this is my
That's
individual.
just your personal.
Anyway, so a lot of great stuff here. I would encourage you to to reach out.
And it's a free sign up then too. I mean, it's just get your link to someone and then have them download the app, like and just kind of keep duplicating that. Have a goal to have 10 signups, and find other, like, those 10 people, maybe try to have them do the same. So,
Hey Heather, how long you been
hey
waiting?
Heather.
I didn't realize you were in the waiting room.
It's fine. I've only been in for maybe about 6 minutes.
Okay, we've been
Okay.
on another screen. We didn't see you there.
It's
Sorry
fine.
about,
We
sorry
got the
about
recording for everyone then
that. We
too.
weren't intending to ignore you. We didn't see you.
It's fine. Thanks for letting me in, though.
But
Well, welcome aboard.
we recorded this so we can get you a recording of the whole thing, and you can watch it.
Oh, I certainly will.
Yeah, so it's about.
Do you know Joe then, Heather?
Yes, actually, I got in from Joe. She's the one, of course, that shared everything. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's great. Have you had a chance to sign up yet?
yes, I have. I already have, and
Welcome. Nice.
I know that before I heard that we were really pushing for Kansas City. I know that it looked like y'all were already trying it out down in the Houston area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that right now that's what's going on in the Houston area is the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Oh, yeah, those big
So
events. Yeah.
what
I
I,
remember
what I
that a
was
year ago.
doing what I was doing is I was looking up all the different groups for Houston and was
Nice.
really pushing the rideshare for it there to help out with the rodeo.
That's amazing. That's exactly what we need. Those big events, like
Mhm.
Vegas has this convention. We're going to be open in Vegas here soon, but where you get into those groups with the conventions or
Mhm.
music festivals, Bonnaroo, something like that over the summer, baseball
Mhm.
games, like uh, I think that's the smart kind of way. Another really smart technique to do too, kind of perform part or have partnerships with hotels,
Mhm.
people going back to the airport. Okay, maybe the concierge can get involved or whatever, or just, hey, can I leave these flyers here? So
Yeah.
that's gonna working smarter, right? So that's
Mhm.
awesome.
Hey, Heather, if you
Yep.
would click on the chat over here and leave us your email so we
All
can
right. Yes.
email you the recording.
I'm gonna get that to Joe then too.
Do you want me to set it for everyone or just for the host?
The chat,
Yes.
everyone's fine. Everyone.
All right.
All righty.
And then I can copy this. That's one thing that's nice about this R Link platform versus Zoom. You can copy stuff. You can't do that with Zoom. Another little
Well,
trick.
yeah, I like it. Yeah, this software, Heather, is it's another kind of vertical that we offer then too, to do calls, do trainings, stuff like that. So hopefully it's going to be a Zoom killer, just like Revo is going to be the Uber killer.
Hey, I'm all for it.
You know it. So, all right, Heather, any questions off the top of your head before we end this call and get the recording out?
No, sir. If I have anything, I'll either try to get a hold of y'all or I'll do it through Joe.
Yeah, let's do another call next week then too. I know there was a little bit of confusion about the Eastern and Central. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, where I knew Joe said she had people all over, so
Mm.
I put Eastern, and then I should have said like 3 Central, 2 Pacific, or I'm bad with the times, Mountain Time, whatever the heck that is.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
And
where you
then with
located, Heather?
What was
Where
that,
you
sir?
where you located at?
I actually am in I'm in Texas. I'm in East Texas.
okay,
Um about 2 hours southeast of Dallas and about 3 hours north of Houston.
Okay.
So I was born in Houston, so I know the Houston rodeo schedule. It's like clockwork. I used to go to it all the time,
nice.
and I know that that's a really big thing. And I thought that with um us already, Revo
Having a bit of
being
a
already
presence.
somewhat
Yeah, presence.
in Houston, that would really try to bump up sales.
I think we have a bit of a presence in Galveston too,
Yeah.
Heather.
Mm,
So I think that we're cranking away there. And then that's a tourist destination where it should be really getting big right around now. March,
yo,
April,
yeah.
May, probably, right? Yeah.
I think the motorcycle rally is going to be going on soon, and I don't know if everyone's going to be wanting to, I know people are going to be coming down with their motorcycles, but I don't know if they're going to want to stay on their motorcycles for
That's
the
true.
motorcycle rally.
Yeah, I was at a thing over the summer or whatever, at a
Hmm.
campground, and they were talking about how the motorcycle guys, they kind of bring them there, but then they have their wife in the car, and
Yeah.
it's
The only other big thing I know about for the Houston area is um the music band Metallica is going to be playing at NRG Stadium in June.
there you go.
So
Then
that'd
you
be
got
another good
Astros
thing for
games.
the ride share.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, let's close it out and welcome aboard, Heather.
Thank you. It's